Cern revisited. Creating the top quark asterisk conditions that existed 1/10,000th of a millionth of a second after the creation of the universe have been reproduced at the Cern atom-smashing machine in Geneva. In the 16-mile tunnel called the Electron-Positron Collider, atomic particles are being smashed into matter at 670 million miles per hour, almost the speed of light. When matter is struck so violently, it reverts to the state of pure energy in which it existed when the universe began. What is exciting is that our findings about conditions in the earliest moments of the Big Bang, which created space, time, and matter some 15,000 million years ago, increasingly agree with those of the cosmologists, said Dr. Norman McCubbin of the Rutherford Appleton Science Laboratory. We have become convinced that all matter, everything that exists, had its origins in two fundamental particles that we call leptons and quarks. We are driving the atom smasher with ever greater energies to recreate conditions further and further back in time. We are now trying to discover the ultimate parent of those two primordial particles which we call top quark. We have not yet detected it, but we believe it must exist. If it does not, our standard theory of the beginnings of the universe will have to be torn up. This announcement appeared in the Daily Telegraph. It was clipped out of the newspaper and sent to Barry, who then wrote a letter to Dr. McCubbin. May I make a prediction? You are going to detect the ultimate parent of those two primordial particles, the lepton and the quark. But you are not going to discover it. You are going to create it and assume you have discovered it. Also, your use of the word ultimate to describe the top quark you are looking for confirms the insuperable limitation of your search. The ultimate of anything remains in existence, or refers to existence. What you are really looking for is the absolute state or pre-existent state. That is clearly not partial or a particle. You are still looking for an effect, and an effect cannot be original. When you and your colleagues do manage to create or manifest top quark, it will be announced as a great advance, although with a little bit of cheery disappointment. You'll announce that although you've been able to add 3 more zeros to the 1/10,000th of a millionth of a second after the creation of the universe, you still haven't reached the beginning. In existence, a miss is as good as a mile off. Pure energy is a state of poise and rest, equilibrium. It cannot be produced or reproduced since it already is, and it certainly cannot be discovered by effort or atom smashing. The present scientific mind is searching for balance through activity, mistaking this for equilibrium. But balance is simply the balance of forces, the balance of existence. You will manifest that particle, as I say, but your creation will still be in existence, still as good as a mile away from the original state. The fact that your findings increasingly agree with those of the cosmologists is also predictable. You are both looking for the same thing with the same present scientific mind, and therefore creating that thing, one in the microfield and the other in the macrofield. Thus, I can confidently say without any possibility of error that each in time will confirm the other's discoveries. Like you, the cosmologists will find the macro equivalent of top quark, but once again, the ultimate, the universe, will be seen to have receded. The carrot will still be a foot from the donkey's mouth, and I do not mean that disrespectfully. What you are really looking for, of course, is the consciousness of the absolute. But due to the limitations of present scientific thought, all you can employ is consciousness of the ultimate. The difference is that consciousness of the absolute is your own pure consciousness, which is without limitation, and consciousness of the ultimate is the consciousness of the brain. Consciousness is behind or beyond the brain, which is the ultimate limitation, or the limitation or end of ultimate knowledge. Ultimate refers to last or furthest, so the present scientific brain is always looking into the past, for example for the beginning of the universe, when it is logically evident that what precedes the beginning or the past is the present, now. The consciousness of this is the consciousness or realization of the absolute, the state beyond the ultimate or the state beyond the brain. The word absolute derives from to set free or absolve, and so the consciousness is set free, absolved, or liberated from the limitations of the brain and its ultimate conditions. The ultimate conditions of the brain are past and future. If ever you should find yourself addressing something beyond the past and future, the present, you will know you are facing the new science that is to replace the predictability of present science. The new science, of course, is the science of knowledge of consciousness. Zero time, or the timeless state of being beyond top quark and its innumerable ultimates. The first and last thing that present science must discover at the end of the 16-mile Cern tunnel, to escape from its predictable course, is that the organized mind, supported by a body of knowledge, actually manifests the result it is looking for, helped by the creation of an uncertainty principle to make the game interesting and not so predictable as to make the delusion obvious.